as advertised tonight. The league's second leading offense, a couple of quick strike goals in the first and a couple in the second. Was that kind of the cautionary tale going into tonight, knowing how quickly they could strike?
Yeah, obviously. I don't think it's any secret what their game is. They're a good transition team, high offense, and they capitalize when they get chances. So you got to minimize turnovers, minimize breakdowns, and try to stifle their offense by playing stingy D.
Your goal, it looked like you got it away in a hurry. Was that the key to having it slip under Bobrovsky's pad there, Jason?
I think so. There's obviously pressure in the slot from their weak side winger. So I was just thinking I got to get this on net and give it a chance.
We'll move to Ian McIntyre, Sportsnet.
Hey, Jason, obviously it wasn't a great start for you guys getting down by 2, but your goal made it a game. How much did those 2 quick goals by Florida in the middle of the second period, how much did that change things?
Yeah, those hurt. We were in it. We started the second period really well, and then we give up that one on the PK, and that one hurts. That's a great shot. But we don't want to be giving up those chances. He's getting his way into the slot there for a good look, and we can't give that up. And then, when they score, you got to come back with a good shift. And sure enough, they came back with a better one and scored again. So that's a backbreaker.
And you probably played better than the score as a team. You outshot them 44-26. But should you be better as a team or more prepared, just skating legs and timing and everything for the second game after this first game in 10 days?
It doesn't matter. We should be better on Thursday, just in general. We can't use the 10 days as a crutch to lean on. There's no excuses. It happened to this group last year, and they came out and they beat Toronto twice in a row. So, you look at it on two sides of the spectrum, and two completely different outcomes. So it doesn't matter, I don't think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce. The Panthers kind of came as advertised tonight with that quick strike offense, the 2 quick goals in the first and the 2 in the second. How much of that was a backbreaker, even though there were some deflections tonight and some screenshots?
Yeah, I mean, they got great stick work in front of the net. I mean, they get their sticks on everything. I mean, and they were good goals. I think after 2 shots or 3 shots, they had 2 goals. And but they're a good team that you can't give opportunities to. There's some teams that need a lot of opportunities to score, and Florida's not one of them. I think if you blink that they can score, and then they get into it and they can score in bundles in a short period of time. And I think that's what they did today.
Can you take anything from the start of the second, Bruce? You guys had a decent push and looked like you were trying to narrow the deficit, and then they strike. Can you take anything from tonight's game? I mean, you did outshoot them 44-26.
You know what? There's a lot you usually can take out. It's not all bad when you lose. I mean, so there's things you could take out, but there's a lot of things that we can take out that we didn't do well, and that's something that hopefully we can correct at practice tomorrow in video. And so I mean, but I mean, it's never fun when you lose. You can get all the good things going when you're winning, but I mean, this was bringing us down to earth a little bit, and hopefully we'll just get ourselves back together and start going in a positive direction starting tomorrow.
We'll go to Ian McIntyre, Sportsnet.
Is there any particular message during the timeout, Bruce?
Well, it was early. I mean, the one thing is I didn't want to, and I'd seen it in the past, like when you get 2 goals scored against you and you sort of quit and say, oh man, here we go again. And I didn't want that attitude seeping into the bench or the locker room. And so, I mean, it was something that I thought after that, other than the one play by Barkov at the end of the period, that we were pretty positive on the bench. We were pulling for each other. I mean, hell, we got a guy fighting in a 3-goal deficit, trying to win trying to do his job with a minute to go or less than a minute to go. So, I mean, that's the never quit that you want to see. And if you have that, then eventually you won't get back-to-back goals scored on you in a hurry. you'll be able to stop them right off the bat, I hope.
It took you 5 weeks to lose a game in regulation, but you also saw in the third period a deficit that you hadn't seen before. You know, your games have, so many of them have been close.
Yeah.
Did you like how your team handled that part of it? That there didn't seem to be a give up in the third, even though it was very unlikely they were going to win the game.
Yeah, and we said that in between periods that we have to come out of this game with something positive. We have to win the third period. We have to stay positive with each other. We have to keep going, and because I mean, adversity, you know, reveals character, and you know, sometimes teams when they get down, they want to blame the ref, they want to start screaming at each other and everything else, and we wanted none of that. And I thought we did a good job in the third, right to the last second, even on the power play, trying to score and having good opportunities in the last minute to score. So I think we came through with that, if that's the positive I want to take from tonight.
We'll move to Thomas Strantz, The Athletic.
Bruce, you've had Jason Dickinson playing with some of your skilled players, and his minutes have been up since you joined the organization. To see him get a goal tonight, was that a matter of the offense has been coming and he was due a bounce in your view?
Well, I think that's part of it, but I mean, I also was in the Central Division and he was in Dallas, and he was a heck of a player. And you know, there's more there than he's gotten credit for at the beginning. So sometimes that's another confidence issue. And once you start scoring and like you get the empty netter, I don't know how long ago it was, but one of our last games, and that probably gives him some confidence going into, even if it was an empty netter, going in today. So he was a guy that I thought, you know, for the time off that he had, he played pretty well.
Was there any thinking when you're down 5-1 there after the Barkov goal of coming back with Yarrow to begin the third period?
Yeah, there was a thought, and you know, I talked with Ian about it and extensively, and we the one thing I didn't want to happen was they score 6, 7, or 8, and Demko lose a little bit of his confidence. But I mean, he wanted to stay in. We went and asked him. He wanted to stay in. He wanted to fight this out, and he hadn't played in 10 games, so he needed the minutes as well. And I just didn't think it would be fair to put Yarrow in the third period when he hadn't played in a while either. So but there was some definite discussion about it.
We'll go to Bick Nazar, Sportsnet 650.
Good evening, Bruce. Were there elements, obviously there's positives you take away out of this this result, or you try to take out of, but were there elements of what you've tried to implement over these past 10 days that you saw that were very evident tonight, and what were they?
Well, when we get the puck behind defensemen and we're forechecking, we're very good. We create things, we make things happen. When we move pucks, we're really good. I think the biggest problem we had was, quite frankly, was making bad decisions in the neutral zone and not putting pucks on tape, making bad passes, mismanaging the puck. When we weren't mismanaging the puck, we were having a lot of ozone time and doing, you know, fairly well. So, I mean, I thought our D zone coverage was sloppy a little bit. When we were good, we were real good, but I didn't think we moved our feet enough in the first period in our D zone to stop them. I mean, they're a very skilled team. They go to the net very well. They got great sticks. So you've got to eliminate them from doing that, or you're going to be in trouble every night.
The three guys that had prolonged absences, Brock, Jason Dickinson, and Elias, what did you think of their games? Brock playing 22 minutes tonight.
Well, I thought I had to play these guys a lot to get them back where they're capable of being. I didn't think they had as much energy as strength as they would normally have had. But I mean, if you take ice time away from them after the first game like that, then I think it's more of a it'll take more games before they get 100% the way you want them. And hopefully this one game and the one good practice we had will allow them to get back to where they were before they got the virus.
And we'll finish off with a question from Daniel Wagner, Glacier Media.
Bruce, it seemed like their forecheck gave your breakout some troubles. There seemed to be some issues breaking out of the zone. Is that something you key in on and can work on for next game? Or is that just the result of the Panthers just being a kind of a relentless forechecking team?
Well, I think any good forechecking team is going to make you make mistakes, and that's what they did to us. I mean, some errant passes in our zone definitely didn't help us, but that was because of pressure, and it doesn't matter. Excuse me, if any of the 32 teams in the league, when they put pressure on you, you're going to make mistakes, and I think the inactivity might have been one of the reasons that we made as many mistakes behind our blue line as we did tonight, because we haven't been making them in the last 9 games.
You talked earlier about not wanting to just take positives out of this game, but also see those negatives and address them. Can you take a game like this and make it a wake-up call after having so much success early on here, treating this game as like, here's where we need to get to?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, just because you're a positive person by nature doesn't mean that you can't learn. Like, I mean, we made a ton of mistakes today that are correctable mistakes, and hopefully that they'll understand that they're correctable mistakes that we hadn't made. So it's we'll watch it and go over it again and get back at it tomorrow, and hopefully have a different result on Wednesday.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you all for joining us. That will conclude tonight's availability. All the best.